Hello, my name is Kip Dye, a licensed physical therapist, and I'm here today to talk about utilizing my invention, the Thera-Roll. I currently am holding a 7-inch by 18-inch hard density foam roller, 6-pound foam roller that is very effective for releasing the upper, middle, and lower back. And I'm about to show you some techniques that we can go through, and then at the end of kind of those three segments of the back, I'm going to show you a stretch that's very effective that'll help improve swimmers or athletes' posture to enhance performance. So initially I'm going to start with the upper back, and we'll go on from there. So what you want to do is put the roller perpendicular to the spine, and as my hips are still on the ground, I can then elevate my hips to apply more pressure into the upper back, kind of between the shoulder blades. What I'll do is I'll work an active release technique, which is very effective at releasing the paraspinals between my vertebra. Another technique is to get into the rhomboid region a little bit deeper, is I will bring my shoulder, my arm across my body to get that scapular shoulder blade out of the way, bring it away from the spine, and that allows me to get deep into those muscles. And I can go high up into the back, and what I'll also do is I'll cross my arms, and I can get into the vertebra. I can do some cross friction, taking my core side to side. I can work up and down. And then I can come back in this a release technique, and that seems to be very effective for the upper back. Moving on to the mid-back or the thoracic area, what I'll do is, and sometimes you may have to reposition the roller because if you're working in a fixed space, you tend to migrate in a direction, towards a wall or an object. Just relocate that to where you need, so you've got some more space to work with. So now the mid-back, what you can do is just work right up and down. Mid-back's pretty easy. If you just offset your weight to one side or the other, you're going to be on the thoracic paraspinals. You want to get right in there, effectively on both sides, just down to above the lumbar region. You can do that both sides. You can also use your arms as a kind of an active release technique, which is great. I tend to go a little bit into flexion, and I go into a little bit of hyperextension. This being neutral, this is hyperextension, this is flexion. Those are very effective techniques to release the thoracic spine. One last thing on the thoracic spine is you can also lie on the roller, and you can go side to side, but do that very carefully. And you can put one elbow down and support your body weight on that arm or elbow as needed, or forearm. And that's also good for thoracic mobility. You can experiment with that, see if that increases your mobility. It helps me actually a fair amount. Next area I want to discuss is the lower back. I keep hearing here and there that you can't roll out your low back with a foam roller. That's not good for you. I think there's no merit in that whatsoever. The area people struggle with the most is their low back. There's so much musculature in the lower back, and it's hard to release. I'm going to show you some real quick and basic techniques that have helped me over the years and have given me much more mobility. So initially what I'll do is I'll make sure I'm centered on the roller, my feet are well placed, so I'm in full control of the spine, the position of the spine. You don't want to abruptly get on the roller and then sprain one of those joints in your back. So everything has to be done very methodically and controlled. So initially what I'll do is I'll just go up and down. Now you need some good core stability if you're going to go all the way down just above your SI joints or above your hips. Do not do this if you're not stabilizing through your core, because I don't want you to hyperextend your back. Obviously, that would be potentially very painful. Now, what I'll do is once I feel like I've released those muscles out as much as I can with that particular technique, I'll then reposition the roller back to where I'm sitting. I'll bring my forearm on the floor. I'll bring my same side that I'm lying on my lower back up offset about 30 degrees. This being neutral, 30, 60, then 90 would be side lying. So I'm about 30, maybe 45 degrees oriented on my back. The same side that I'm oriented to, I'll take my foot over to my opposite leg, just above the knee. And then I can use this hand to control what's occurring through the side of the back that I'm releasing. Because with different positions of my hip, I can actually release my back much more effectively in that if I'm bringing my knee up towards my head, it's elongating those soft tissue areas in my low back. And what I'll do here is I won't move very much, but what I'll get is onto some knots, and I'll just kind of park on them. I'll just kind of hang on those knots for 15, maybe 20 seconds. And then I'll go up and down just to see if I can find some other areas that are tight and sore. And then what I'll also do is, again, I'll use a cross-friction technique, but it's very subtle. It's just a back and forth, very subtle motion, but you'll find that the muscle tends to release over those ridges that your body weight is resting upon.